Everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk cheap home defense. Not something I've really ever covered in any of my videos. But let's preface this, or before we dive off into it, if you've never considered subscribing to the channel and you like cool content like this, deals that I find, refurbishments, repairs, things of that nature, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Sign up for notifications so you'll get notified when I do stuff like this. Today we're talking cheap tactical or cheap home defense. As many of you well know, probably the best home defense weapon probably in the world would be a pump action 12 gauge shotgun. I believe that myself. There are certain instances where that is not the best home defense weapon. You do have to be cognizant of things such as the construction of your house, the walls, location of bedrooms, this, that, and the other, which is all going to be determinant, or which is all going to determine, what type of ammunition that you decide to use in a shotgun for home defense. So I do want to preface this video by stating that, but by no means is this the be-all, end-all. There's a lot of stuff to cover when you think about things like that and choosing a weapon for home defense as well as ammunition, things of that nature. God forbid everything or anything should ever come to that. That being said, as you guys full well know, there's plenty of shotguns out there. You've got Berettas, you've got Benellis, you've got Mossbergs, you got Remington, you got Winchester, and the list goes on and on and on. Well, here in the last probably 5 to 7 years, there's been a recent influx of a lot of Turkish-made shotguns into the market, specifically from Tristar, from Citadel, and a few others, just to name a couple. But what we have and what we're going to take a look at today is a Tristar. Got to look at the name. Tristar Cobra 3 Force. I picked this up at a gun shop the other day. They were actually running a special on them. I'll try to put a picture up here in the top left of what they were running a special on. They were running for, I think, 160 maybe. Anyway, I'll correct it in the video here, but obviously I'll preface this by stating I'm not selling anything. I'm not telling you where to go buy this. I'm just giving you some options. Anyway, that being said, the shotgun I wanted they were actually sold out of, but the salesman told me, he said, hey, we don't have those. We do have 2 of these left. We have a floor model, and we also have one in the back. We're running those for $149.99. I was like, okay, cool. I'd like to take a look at it. So once again, this is that Tristar. Wow, this is terrible. I can't remember the name. Tristar Cobra 3 Force. That's a mouthful right there. But we're going to open this up. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to see what you can expect. I'll tell you a little bit about this shotgun. Once again, if you can't afford a Mossberg, you can't afford a Remington, you can't afford a Maverick 88, this is probably your next closest affordable option. Like I said, I got this for $150. I think I've seen them online for like $200 and something. I've actually seen some of them for $300, which I think is a bit overpriced for this particular shotgun, just because of construction, things of that nature. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive off in it. Let's take a look. Let's see what comes in the box. As you can see, it's in this nice blue packaging. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, and then you'll see what else is in the box. You obviously see there is a owner's manual, instruction manual, and there is a choke key, which is very important, especially if you want to change the chokes out in this. Let's set that to the side. Of course, there's your Tristar manual. There's really not a lot to it. Just kind of shows you the parts, breakdown, warranty card, all kinds of stuff. It is threaded for chokes. Here's your choke tube tool. Nothing fancy, nothing special, but it works. Nothing wrong with that. But let's take a look at this shotgun. You guys are probably curious to see this. Probably curious to know what it is we're looking at here. All right. So here is our Tristar Cobra 3 Force. Okay, now you will notice right off the bat, it's kind of reminiscent of a Remington in a way. Kind of not, but just real quick, we're going to dive off into some of the features of this shotgun. You will notice a fiber front sight. You can see that that is red right there. I don't know how well you guys can see it. I can see it. And then on the back, you have kind of a ghost ring setup. But the cool thing about this shotgun is you've also got a 1913 rail right here, which is screwed into the top of the receiver. So I mean, you can easily take something like this off and attach a scope, an optic, anything. Theoretically, if you really wanted to, you could actually attach a scope on here. You could take and change your choke out for like a turkey choke, and then you could use this thing for turkey hunting if you really, really wanted to. Now, it does come with this. This is the only choke it comes with, which is more like a, I don't even know what you call it, tactical muzzle brake. I don't know. But, you know, it's nothing fancy, nothing special. I believe this is improved cylinder. So if you decide to shoot buckshot through it, you're not going to have any issues. You always want to have you always want to have an improved cylinder in there, just in case. That barrel moves just a little bit. Just in case you decide to shoot buckshot through it, because if you don't, you can mess up the threads, your choke threads. Now, it is a plastic handguard. However, on this handguard, there's also a pick rail on the bottom, and the cool thing with that is you could easily mount a weapon light to that. Of course, you have your sling swivel there for sling attachment. You also have one back here on the butt, or on the stock. Now, of course, this is indeed unloaded. I will demonstrate that right now. You see that, yes, she is unloaded. Now, one of the interesting things about this shotgun is it has a spring-assisted return. So it might be actually pretty advantageous for a female to operate, at least one that's not, doesn't have a whole lot of arm strength or hand strength, because when you let go of this, it returns forward, which is pretty cool. I kind of like that feature. I don't know if it's going to cause problems down the road. It may very well do that. But the nice thing is this is a 3-inch chamber. I'll probably have to insert a picture because this will probably not come through, but it says Cobra 3 12 gauge 3-inch made in Turkey by Kral, K-R-A-L. Of course, there have been a ton of Turkish imports recently, whether you're talking 1911s or shotguns. You know, it's on the budget end. And a lot of it's not really bad. I mean, you're talking like the Turkish 1911s, the tea sauces, those are pretty stinking nice for what you get. So anyway, let's see. You have your slide release here. You have your push button safety. One thing to note is this trigger guard is all plastic, and this buttstock and pistol grip are all one piece. They do make aftermarket ones out there that you can fit these with. I know some people, I've seen some of the comments out there on the internet about fitting I believe a Magpul stock to these things. I don't know if it's possible, but it's got a nice rubberized pistol grip here. Your handguard is kind of knurled here. It's a little roughed up so you can grab it good. Once again, you've got the rail here, which is plastic, where you can mount a weapon light, which I think would be really advantageous. And then, of course, your butt pad back here is a nice rubber recoil pad. That'll help out a lot in terms of any kick that this thing dishes out. I'll try to insert a picture, hopefully in the top left of the sight picture of this. It is a ghost ring style. You know, no frills, nothing fancy, but just something that is decent enough for home defense, decent enough for keeping in, you know, a cabin or in trunk of your car, or something like that. Just something you don't have to worry about. Obviously, I wouldn't. I've got Remington 1100s. I've got a Remington 1100. I've also got Mossbergs. I'm not going to throw those in the trunk of my car or in my pickup truck. I'm going to put something like this in there, something I don't have to worry about. if it rusts, if it gets beat up a little bit, it's not going to bother me because it's not super expensive. So your investment is not huge. Now I do believe, and like I said, it is indeed unloaded. Trigger is, it's a pretty stiff trigger. I'm not going to lie on that one. It's not terrible. I've had worse. I'm trying to remember in here of the types of chokes that this actually accepts. Of course, I will correct myself up here if I get this wrong, but I believe it uses Beretta/Benelli chokes. So, like I said, if you really, really wanted to, you could take this tactical choke out, flash, whatever. I don't even know what that is. You can take that out. You can put full choke, modified, whatever, and throw a scope on it, and technically you could go hunt turkeys with it. I don't see why you couldn't. Once again, especially since it's got that 3-inch chamber. I mean, you could use it for all sorts of things. Pardon me, I do have allergies, so I do have to clear my throat from time to time. But, for a cheap budget option, I don't think it's bad. I mean, what I thought was really cool was, this returning back forward after you release it with the spring assist. That can actually really help a lot of people that don't have a whole lot of arm or hand strength. Because we all know the most intimidating sound in the world is the racking of a 12-gauge shotgun. Certainly not what you want to hear if you enter someone's home illegally. I am not advocating that you... well, I'm not advocating anything. There's my disclaimer. We'll just say that. But yeah, I think it's pretty neat. I do think that now I did notice that my barrel, it's got a little bit of tiny movement side to side, and I think that's because of how it fits back in the receiver. I think my front sight tower may be slightly canted this way. But, I mean, honestly, what do you expect for 150 bucks? I mean, I wouldn't expect much. But all in all, for what it is, just for a nice little tactical looking shotgun, it's not terrible. Of course, I do plan on shooting it when we don't have 14 inches of rain, and give you some impressions on what I think about it. I love my Mossbergs. I love my Remington 1100. We'll see how this one stacks up against them. I do know I'm not a real big fan of this safety. Of course, this is the Remington style. You guys may like it. I don't. I love my Mossberg with the Tang style safety, at least on a regular stock shotgun. Not necessarily a pistol grip. I see the point behind having this here for a pistol grip, but when you're using a regular shotgun, your thumb is just right here in a natural location. A regular stock shotgun, your thumb is just in a natural location here to actuate that safety. That's why I like a 500. But other shotguns have their places as well. But there we have it. There is that Tristar Cobra 3 Force. Just a budget shotgun for home defense. Or just a truck gun, whatever you want to call it. Something to keep with you at the campsite. I don't know. But can also serve other purposes when you swap out the choke, or add a red dot, or add a shotgun scope. Insert optic above, whatever you want to do. So anyway, just want to share this with you guys. Just wanted to give you some ideas on some options that exist outside of just your name brand, super expensive shotguns. Maybe not super expensive, but a value level shotgun is what I really wanted to get this for. This is probably one I'm going to keep in the car or the truck, whichever vehicle I'm in. You never know when you might need one. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, and more great content like this on the way. Well, maybe not great, but more content on the way. Hope you guys like it. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and until next time, you guys have a great day.